Greetings. Today we will visit the Nine Penny Branch Nature Preserve located near Charlestown, Indiana, in Clark County. At 121 acres, Nine Penny Branch Nature Preserve offers a delightful trail along a cascading Nine Penny Branch to a charming waterfall at trail's end. The preserve's large parking lot accommodates buses and cars. Local lore suggests two sources for the name, Nine Penny Branch, that traverses the preserve. One suggests it was used to cost travelers with wagons 9 pennies to cross this route. Another suggests a worker once lost a day's wages, 9 cents, in the creek. Whichever is the source, the preserve is a pleasant spot to hike and bask in the lovely woods, stream, and waterfall. The land which forms the preserve was once part of Clark's grant, which was eventually handed down to Ferris' great-grandfather, John Work. The historical marker for John Work is on Tunnel Hill Road, about a mile east of the preserve. Hikers on this short, wide trail will see remnants of old stone fences that once lined the fields in the preserve. A stagecoach route once traversed the stream bed and now forms a portion of the trail. The beginning of the trail is ADA, which is handicap accessible. The part ends at an overlook about 1/3 of a mile. There are benches here on which to rest. The remaining 1/3 mile is ADA grade, but the surface is not. It is an easy, short hike about 1.5 miles round trip. The trail reaches the creek, it levels off, and remains so until it reaches the falls. There is a bench at the bottom. The falls are about 3 to 4 feet high and quite pretty. From Indiana State Road 62 on the northeast side of Charlestown, Indiana, turn north on Monroe Street. After driving about 1/3 of a mile, turn right on Tunnel Mill Road. Preserve is about 2.5 miles on the left. It's a great hike for outdoor lovers that are physically challenged. Arthur Willis Ferris lived from 1902 until 1989. He was the son of William Work and Nanny Rosella Barnes Ferris. Arthur Ferris was native to Charlestown, Indiana. At one time, Ferris owned the tract now included in Nine Penny Nature Preserve. According to local lore, Ferris protected this area, at times patrolling it with a pistol that he would discharge into the air to scare off interlopers. He is interred at Charlestown Cemetery. You can find it at Nine Penny Branch Nature Preserve at 3142 Tunnel Mill Road, Charlestown, Indiana. On the way to the preserve, the visitor will pass an historical marker noting an interesting historical site, the Tunnel Mill. The title of the marker, Tunnel Mill, location 3709 Tunnel Mill Road, Charlestown, Indiana, in Clark County, Indiana. The site marker text, side 1, John Work, 1760 through 1832, one of the area's most prominent businessmen, settled on 14 Mile Creek in 1804. Had this house built circa 1811, built grist mill, tunnel, and dam on creek circa 1814 through 1816. Over time, Work operated 3 grist mills, 4 sawmills, a powder mill, distillery, stone sawing mill, and general store. Side 2, tunnel dug near here was 6 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and over 385 feet long, and considered a major engineering feat. Blasting through Limestone Hill took nearly 2.5 years. Tunnel served as mill race providing constant water supply. Mill was 3 stories tall with limestone foundation. The upper floor is made up of wood. Mill burned in 1927. John Work bought 100 acres of land along. This is my a little history I wrote about it. John Work bought 100 acres of land along 14 Mile Creek in 1804 that included a grist mill. The mill saw heavy use and after 10 years needed extensive repair. Instead of repairing the old structure, Work decided to build a new mill that could operate year-round. But to operate the mill, he needed a better water supply. That water supply lay on the other side of a high stone ridge 300 feet away. John Work and his brother Henry moved their families from Redstone, Pennsylvania to Kentucky early in the 19th century. Their aim was to start a grist mill in the new lands of Kentucky. Henry died, leaving the care of the family to John. Not finding a suitable site, John moved both families to southern Indiana Territory, north of Clarkstown, Indiana. After his arrival in the valley, he developed several businesses and included a general store, lime kiln, distillery, blacksmith, farrier, gunsmith, salt works, and quarry. In 1811, he was doing well enough to build a brick home high on a hill overlooking 14 Mile Creek Valley. Finding the white water he needed to power his mill was not a hard task. It was right there, 300 feet away. 14 Mile Creek formed an oxbow on his land. He needed to connect the two channels of the oxbow. He did this at its narrowest point by building a tunnel from one channel to the other. The feat was considered an impressive engineering feat, and for good reason. To dig the tunnel, work needed gunpowder. He made this himself using saltpeter he mined from high cliffs above the Ohio River. He would need about 650 pounds of explosives to dig the canal. Using 6 men and working from both sides of the ridge, work began to dig and blast the tunnel. He began to dig the tunnel on January the 14th, 1814. The men completed the tunnel on April the 14th, 1817. The tunnel was only off by 2 inches when the men met. The entire community celebrated the event. The tunnel was 388 feet long, 6 feet tall, and 5 feet wide. Legend has it that a man rode through the tunnel after it was complete. The tunnel was more than adequate and delivered the water work needed to run his grist mill. The mill continued in operation until his death in 1832. The property changed hands over the years, and a fire destroyed the old mill in 1927. In 1928, the Boy Scouts of America purchased the site. They used the work home as a residence for scoutmasters. Then the house fell into disrepair. In 2010, the Scouts leased the property to Taylor Rose Historical Outfitters to restore the house. The house and grounds are open to the public on Fridays and Saturdays from Memorial Day through Labor Day during special events. For more information about the site, contact Historic Tunnel Mill Living History Center, 3709 Tunnel Mill Road, Charlestown, Indiana, 47111. The telephone is 812-606-1264. Listeners can find this as well as many other interesting places in my book, The Southeast Indiana Day Trip. It is volume 1 in my 9-book Road Trip Indiana series. You can find the books on my website, www.mossyfeetbooks.com. It is available on Amazon as well as other online book retailers. You may also purchase the book direct from me, the author, on the website. I encourage you to visit and subscribe to the Mossy Feet Books YouTube channel for more great content. If you like my videos, please hit the like button. The more likes I get, the more YouTube will show it to other people, allowing me to grow the channel. I also invite you to visit my website, www.mossyfeetbooks.com. There you'll find sample chapters, podcasts, a slew of content, and links to where you can buy my books. While visiting the website, you can subscribe to it and receive email notifications when I publish a new book or other content like this video and podcast. If you like what I'm doing, please purchase a book as it helps fund my work.